Hi, hi everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm in a different part of the garden today, so I'm not 100% sure that the connectivity is right. It's another week. Wow, these Fridays are flying past. I hope you've all had a good week. As you can see, it's another week in the fabulous Irish summer. Still waiting for the sun to come out at the same time as a bit of heat to bring on all our plants properly, but they're still going okay. Despite all their challenges brought on by the weather. So I thought today I'd talk to you a little bit about pinching out. Somebody asked in the group a little bit about it, and it's not quite the right time to talk about it, but there's a good opportunity coming up, and I thought I'll explain all. So pinching out is something that you do on a plant that is generally going to grow with one stem. And you're probably saying, sure, Rebecca, don't they all grow with one stem? Look, if you're not sure, don't bother. That'll be my first thing to say to you. If you're not sure, don't bother. The plants will look after themselves and grow well. All you're trying to achieve with pinching out is to make a bushier plant with more flowers on it generally. So if a plant is going to grow up with one stem, it's only going to give off a few flowers at the top. What you're trying to do by pinching it out is encourage the plant to fork out in different directions and then create different ends of flowers, if you know what I mean. So I have an example, because I'm sure I'm not explaining it that greatly. So I have an example here, and me and my selfie stick are going to go and show you. So down here, if you can see this pink flower that's flowering here at the minute, that's called a cosmos, and I grew that from seeds this year, and you can see it's a lovely kind of daisy like flower on these feathery kind of foliage. I think it's really pretty, and it grows really tall. Even though the seed packet did say it was a dwarf variety, I'd hate to see what the normal size ones are, because these are always turn out fairly huge. But anyway, my dwarf cosmos is not that dwarf. Anyway, if you look down here, you can see that there's multiple stems growing out of this. So you see this, the end of this stem is going to have flower. You can see some buds. The end of this other stem that's coming out of the down near the base of the plant, that has separate buds and flowers. So it has, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buds there, and there's multiple other ones. And the reason why that's not just one is because I pinched that one out really well when it was a small seedling plant. Here's one I forgot to, over here. So if you can see, this is also a cosmos. This would have been planted the same day, in the same seed tray, treated exactly the same as its sister over here that has the flowers on it. But I forgot to pinch this one out. And I know I forgot to pinch this one out because it's just one single stem from the base right up to the tip. Now it will flower and it'll be lovely, and there's nothing wrong with it, and all the rest of it. But you're just getting more bang for your buck out of this one that's been pinched out. It's got more stems, it'll have more flowers, and it's more obvious. As I say, you're just getting more value for money out of your flowers. So that's why you do it. And how you do it now is another thing. You do it mostly on plants that are young, so that's why I'm saying it's not a great time now, because at this stage plants are kind of, they're maturing and they're going to come into their own in the coming month, because July is the really big flower month for these kinds of ones that you've been growing from seed since March or February even. So the time you'd be normally pinching out is probably April, and next April I'll show you again. But there's something coming up around now that you might all have in your gardens that you can have fun pinching out, and that's dahlias. Dahlias are a plant that you can easily do it with. Now I can't show you on my dahlias because my dahlias have been ate to within an inch of their life by snails. And I'm going to talk to you a bit more about what I'm going to try and do about that. And God knows I've tried most things, but anyway, my poor dahlias are looking a bit shook. So I have something else to show you here. I have this little plant here, is called, oh gosh, it's very hard to hold a selfie stick and show you. Anyway, this is a plant that I found self-seeded in the ground when I was weeding. So I know it's a salvia. So a salvia are, they kind of have tall spear-shaped flowers, like mini lupins, you could say, but I mean very mini. And you can see it's grown up in one tall thin stem. Here's one I found beside it, and you can see it's nice and bushy. Now, I didn't pinch that one out, but that's what I'm aiming for, because you can see already that's going to be a bushier plant, and if it's a bushier plant, it'll have more flowers. So all you do is you wait till it has, so you take a young plant and you wait till it has 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 pairs of leaves on the main stem before you start doing this. You have to have a few couples of leaves for it to work, or it's too much of a trauma to the plant. But this one has, can you show us a bit closer? Sorry, Sydney. Is it hold on, I'll go back to the cosmos in a minute. So what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to take off, and hold it up to you as close as I can, take off the little growing tip with my fingernails. Oops. So I'm just taking off those 2 little leaves. I'm after damaging one of the little leaves here, but it'll be okay. I'll take that off as well. And that's all you do, right? I just took them off, and you wait and it'll branch out. Oh, no problem. I'll go back to it, Sydney, no problem. Yeah, and that's all you do. And then it'll take care of itself and start branching out from that point. That's how it works. It'll the plant will send the energy and fork it out into different branches, into different stems. And you can do that again later on if it's too spindly again. So I will do that probably later on and try and get that into a nice bushy salvia for later. So I'll just go back here again to show you. I might actually switch I wonder will it work? Try switching around the camera here. Oh God, it's very high tech today. Yeah, okay. So this is my cosmos with the branches. And I'm hoping you can see. Can you see here now that it's got a number of branches down near the base? That's because I would have pinched that off when it was a baby down near the bottom. And this one is growing as a single straight stem the whole way up because I forgot to pinch it out. As I say, they're both healthy plants. They're both going to have flowers. They're both living their best lives. It's just that this one, if I zoom out, you can see is fuller at the top because it's got all these branches to support flowers, whereas this one has only got one single stem. So I hope that kind of explains it. And I'll just go over again and show you what I did with the top of that plant. Oh yeah, turn it around again, Rebecca, sorry. Okay, so this little plant, so say I was doing this one, what you'd be taking away is the 2 little teeny tiny leaves there. I'm not going to bother pinching this one out because it's growing nice and bushy, but you'd be just pinching them out with the tops of your fingernails. As you can see, I have fabulous fingernails, but some of you that actually have fingernails, that's what you're taking out. And you do it as gently as you can. And this is the one I did already. Actually, do you know what? I'm just going to chance taking off that other leaf where I damaged one of the pair. My OCD is getting the better of me. And that's it. It'll branch off from that point and hopefully make a bushier plant. And that's what you're aiming to do. So when you go and look at your dahlias, if you have dahlias planted and they're looking, see that you've got maybe 3 or 4 leaf pairs. Then you just take out the top 2 most. And hopefully you'll have a bushier plant with way more flowers instead of having a tall spindly one. The other good thing about having a bushier plant, I think, is that they're better able for the bit of wind. I don't know if you have it where you are, but it's been fierce windy here. It's a real battle trying to keep everything upright, but so far so good. So that's it for today. I'm sorry it's a little bit early. I'm going out. So I didn't think I might be able to do one tomorrow morning. So that's it. Have a nice weekend. And if you have any more questions or I didn't show clearly enough, which I may well not have, let me know and I'll take photos and explain it a bit better. Take care. All right. Bye.